Knock this in. 31 pickup right here. Smart. Don't think about our offense. Guard for me, all right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Down.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Gatorade, Under Armour, Coke Zero, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
The Road Dogs reemerge. What?
Yes, sir. A dogfight, a grind, hell of a job bouncing back and getting one before we get a little bit of a break. Heck of a way. You are 10-3 in this league. Nobody else has 10 league wins. We're 22-4. I mean, you've done a hell of a job.
Irish head coach Mike Brey after his team got back on the winning track with another come-from-behind road victory at Clemson. Welcome, Irish fans, to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish, and one of your mantras has always been conference success is dependent on how you bounce back from losses, and you did that in style after a tough road loss at Duke.
I thought we did. We ran into a buzzsaw at Duke. They were flat-out fabulous. But you don't want any residual of that. You know, you got to flush it quickly. I thought we did. We had 2 good days of practice, played really well at Clemson, great in game situations.
Great environment at Clemson. And again, Duke's the only game where if you've stumbled in that kind of environment, you again embraced it at Clemson.
We really did. You know, I thought we were ready to play. We changed some defenses, played a little bit of zone at the end, and I thought Jaron Grant was the conductor down the stretch as he's been all year.
Now, when we come back, we will take you to Notre Dame's rematch with 4th-ranked Duke and Durham. But first, here's a look at how Coach Brey wrapped up his post-game locker room speech after the Irish win at Clemson.
When we go back, this is a great week for us because we got to get some rest. I know we got a lot of academic stuff coming, so we can concentrate on that and get into that. And then we got a real chance to work on what I talked about before the BC game, February improvement. I still think we can get better. Let's keep striving to get better, and we'll get some things going in practice this week that'll do that. But hell of a win.
This is Bob. Bob's on a first date, so he's not thinking about where to buy his next set of tires. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. They stock over 1 million tires and can have yours shipped to a trusted, independent, recommended installer in as little as 1 business day. But Bob's not thinking about tires. Bob's thinking, should I tell her about that thing in her teeth? TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
The Super Bowl. It's one game for all the glory. And Xfinity from Comcast is giving you a seat at every one ever played. Xfinity brings you 30-minute recaps of every Super Bowl on demand. Plus, over 100 hours of coverage the week of Super Bowl 49 on NFL Network. Get the best seat to every Super Bowl when you upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play with NFL Network. Call today for a great low price. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online today.
Sweat. It says I was here. I worked here. It says I only have so much to give before I have to take. What I lose, I want to get back. Sweat says, I earned this. Gatorade, created to help replace what you sweat out.
You guys got to play in Cameron Indoor Stadium for the first time, and you jumped out to a quick 6-0 lead, but Duke responded with, I know their radio crew told me, their best performance of the year.
They were fabulous, and in the first half, we had no answers. It was a buzzsaw. We were holding on for dear life. A little bit in the second half, we played like we could, but too big a hole to dig out of. And I think the environment, the first time for our guys in this environment, knocked us back on our heels. But here we are to start. We get great movement. Steve knocks down a 3. We get another good set here. We get a back cut step back. Pat knocks down a 3, and you're thinking, okay, we're feeling pretty good. But the onslaught started right here with Winslow and this powerful drive. he was really good early to get them confident. We couldn't keep him out of the lane. Pretty good D here early, but they get by us on a ball screen, and then the big guy there for a tip-in. He was really good, got 2 fouls on the bench. Jaron had some turnovers, and Winslow leaks out, and they get some easy buckets, and then the building comes alive. Winslow again with a little probe. They shot it. They made 7 threes, Jack, in the first half. Jones with a big jumper there. They go zone right here, and we get pretty good movement against the zone. Steve knocks down a 3 against the zone, and you're kind of thinking maybe we can fight our way back into this thing. But Matt Jones comes off the bench and gets 15 points in the first half. He was the microwave, Jack. He really was. Bonzie Colson, it's a heck of a tough shot. He just continues to be a factor for us. Again, Matt Jones' 3-point shot. He is feeling it. Again, we're holding on for dear life right now. Pat with a nice drive and probe here. VJ gives us a bucket. We're dying for a bucket. VJ knocks one down, but we are on our heels. Really good drive. This was the story at the end of the half. I don't know how many layups we missed. Strong move by Jones right there. We give up a 3-point play. You can see we're down 30, man, and we are really hanging on. Nice movement right there. That's a little bit of how we play. Right there, nice cut without it. Pretty good by Demetrius. Bonzie with a nice rebound. D scratches it out. We kick it out, make the extra pass, and Pat knocks one down. You didn't have enough of those possessions in a row, Jack, to really make yourself believe. Great drive in the second half. We actually play like we're capable of playing for a stretch in the second half, and here's part of it. Nice probe right there. We hit. Steve knocks down a 3. Curling action. Jaron gets to the bucket a couple times. They've loosened up, and that looks a little bit like us. We run an out-of-bounds set. Pat knocks down a 3, and that for about a 5-minute period, we look like ourselves. We get out in transition here. This helped Jaron get going. What a pass and catch right there. Nice transition bucket, but you can see that hole to dig out of, Jack, is way, way too much. Good back cut by Demetrius. He's up on the board. Bonzie with an offensive rebound. Another tough shot. Bonzie Colson just continues to be a factor for us. Nice probe by D. Bonzie Colson, when he gets around that bucket 15 feet, I think everything he shoots is going in. We go a little bit of zone, and Winslow just goes right down our pipe right there. 3-point play. Nice movement here, and they're off the transition. This was a little bit of the story of the game. Their transition and easy buckets. Our defensive balance, not very good. Movement here, we're pressuring Quinn Cook, but they make a nice play, and that's a heck of a play by Okafor. I don't know if anybody else in the country can make a play like that. Nice to see our guys play. We get Torres in there, Matty Farrell in there, nice finish, but as you can see by the numbers, that was a total mismatch. And it's one of those where you look back and go, God, I'm glad that only counted 1 loss.
Coach, you're right. The final stats do reflect the final score. The Blue Devils took control with an amazing 81% shooting performance in the first half. That included making 7 threes, as you mentioned, in just 8 attempts. And, Coach, you did not subject your team to the process we just subjected you to. You didn't show them that film. No.
That was a quick flush, and the next day in practice, I tore the stat sheet up before we started practice. That's one of those where you got to move on quick and get through it. And, again, in regular season league play, short memories are a key.
Now, folks, the Clemson game was not a do-or-die contest for an Irish team with 9 conference and 21 total wins on the season. But this Notre Dame squad wants to accomplish special things this season, and the next step was to break a 2-game conference road losing streak. We'll take you along as Notre Dame men's basketball journeys to Clemson for the first time right after this timeout.
your Verizon or AT&T bill? Turn in your old phone and we'll cut your rate plan in half. Visit us online or visit a Sprint store today.
This is Pete. Pete is helping his aunt move, so he's not thinking about tires right now. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. They post their own test results and user reviews, so he could get the right tires for his car in as little as 1 business day. But Pete's not thinking about tires. Pete's thinking it would have been nice if his aunt had mentioned the Minor Bird. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Playing at Clemson is not exactly an easy hurdle to get over when you're trying to get back on the winning track.
Well, I haven't been in Little John Coliseum in 20 years, and it still has a lot of energy. And it was a big game for them. ESPN2, national TV. Certainly they're a team in the NCAA discussion. And so they were waiting for us down there at Clemson. And we get off to a pretty good start here offensively. Demetrius with a nice read off of a ball screen and knocks down a big bucket. But a nice D there, just good position D by Steve. A really good play in transition here. And we're off to a pretty good start going 4-0, but then they get feeling good offensively. They were shooting 65% at one time in the first 10 minutes. Ball reversal, three-point shot. Pretty good movement here. We make a tough decision, and they're off and running right there. Dunk in transition. And the building is alive. The building is alive. They're stepping up, shooting some jump shots, feeling good about themselves. We're down 8, but working. What a great cut and a better pass by Zach August. Jaron Grant with a nice cut from up top out of our motion. Good move by Zach right here. And how about Pat Connaughton, our pitcher who's a rebounder, down there with a tip in. Little set we run where Pat fills in behind a rolling ball screen. Nice read by Jaron. Thought he made really steady reads the whole game off of his stuff. Nice throw-ahead situation. I don't know how he made this. That darn thing went in, but a three-point play right there. End of the half, we spread it out a little bit. Pat and Jaron, little two-man game, and that's a great momentum play to get this thing to 2 at halftime. And it's a dogfight in the second half. Big guy inside, talented young man. He scores early, and it's really a great college game the last 20 minutes. What movement right there. Pat steps through, avoids the charge, picks up the three-point play, but great ball movement led to that. Defensively here, nice by Bonzi. He overplays, they throw it away. How about the degree of difficulty with that shot? Bonzi Colson's minutes, again, Jack, were huge. Jaron Grant with a big-time deflection and a great find here. We skip it over. Pat's feeling good from the three-point line, and we find him in early offense to knock down a three-point shot. Defensively, pretty good position there, but we get caught behind. They knock down a big jumper, and it's two teams really going at it right there, really going at it. Transition for them, but look at Jaron Grant. He's done that almost every game, Jack, where he cheats up an outlet pass and gets a bucket right there. Rod Hall is a strong guard and picks up a three-point play right there. Good movement, drive into the middle. Great active hands by Jaron Grant. So instinctive. And then Demetrius Jackson on the follow-up. And we tie it up right there. And then it gets to be Jaron Grant time. Great cut by Demetrius. Overplay, go without it. And then how about this guy tipping it in, right, to give us the lead. Jaron Grant with a big, big play, a leaner off of a set. He knocks it down, and we have to defend like heck. Pat with a good chest right here because it's a tough shot. Bonzi had it. Steve with a hustle play. I don't know why Bonzi's dribbling, but we lose it, and we dodge a bullet, even though Jaron really got out to challenge that. And a great road win in a dogfight of a game in ACC play.
The final stats reflect a very competitive game that the Irish won in part because of the play of both veteran and underclass leaders. Jaron Grant led all scorers with 22 points to go with 5 assists. Pat Connaughton added 14 points, including 3 threes and 6 rebounds. And sophomore point guard Demetrius Jackson, whose 2 key putback buckets down the stretch, which you just saw, tied the game and then gave the Irish the lead for good. That's one of the reasons you've won all these games. Everybody on the floor is contributing all the time. Bonzi Colson is always around the ball.
Always around the ball. And you're right about contributions. Different guys at key times have done it for us. And that's what's so fun about this team. But you know, Jack, when it gets to crunch time, they really believe, especially on the road, they believe it's their time.
When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the ongoing final chapters in the careers of Notre Dame's two veteran leaders who are making good on their promise to lead the Irish back to postseason play this season. Jaron Grant is putting up some very impressive numbers this season, the most impressive of which is the fact that the Irish senior has had a hand in more than 41% of the points the Irish have scored this season, which includes his ACC conference-leading 6.2 assists per game. Even more impressive is how Jaron fares in what observers now call the eye test. Suffice to say, opposing coaches have heaped praise on Grant all season long, and he continues to be in the running for both conference and National Player of the Year honors. I asked Jaron what it means to him to be in the running for these awards.
It means a lot, obviously, that means you're one of the top players in the country. That means people are watching you, people are, thinking a lot about how you can play. And I think, that goes a long way from all the hard work I put in, and, it means a lot to me.
It's amazing to me how much Jaron improved his game during the time he was away from the program.
Well, the one thing about him being away, he didn't have any academic responsibilities, so he could really work on his game, and he is a gym rat. He loves to play. The other thing that's lost is how intelligent he is. His basketball IQ is maybe the highest that I've ever dealt with in my coaching career. It's a great story, and he continues to give us confidence.
Another gentleman who is putting up terrific numbers this season is Captain Pat Connaughton. Not only is Connaughton one of the leading scorers in the conference and three-point shooters in the nation, he is also, at just 6'5", the leading active career rebounder in the entire Atlantic Coast Conference.
I didn't know that, no. I had no idea, but it's kind of cool. It's cool to be in this conference. I was fortunate enough to play 2 years in the Big East, go everywhere that each Big East school had to offer, and then play 2 years in the ACC and go to every ACC school. To go up against the competition that I've gone up against and be able to out-rebound the guys that are taller than me, I think that's one of the more satisfying things to let everyone else know, let the kids growing up know. It's not all about size. I mean, obviously, basketball is a vertical game, but at a certain point, it comes down to hustle, heart, and just will to win.
That will to win just overflows out of both of your senior leaders.
First of all, he was dressed like Don Johnson of Miami Vice. But you know what? Both of those guys, Jack, have run this team from June 20th on through Italy. They have control of the group. They've helped me manage the locker room, and they've made the younger players confident.
How often do you think, man, I wish they had another year?
Well, I'm thinking of retiring, with them. But those are big holes in our lineup when those guys leave. Fortunately, we have a lot of guys getting better.
For this week's ATI Play of the Week, we return to the end of the first half of the Clemson victory for what may have been the most important basket of the game.
Connaughton gets it to Grant. Ball on him. 7-6. Grant in the center jump circle. 4-3 in the corner. Connaughton fakes up to Grant. Three-pointer on the way. Got it at the buzzer. So Notre Dame will go in just down by 2 at halftime, 31-29 after the dramatic top of the key three-pointer by Jaron Grant.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time.
Close the front door!
And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas. All with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Gunderman Group.
Gunderman Group is growing.
Getting in a groove.
Growth is gratifying.
Goal is to grow.
Gotta get greater growth.
I just talked to UPS. They've got expert advice, special discounts, new technologies, like smart pickups. They'll only show up when you print a label, and it's automatic. We save time and money.
Time? Money?
Time and money.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
I love logistics.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Brey question, presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Big Irish fan Gary Rivers of Mishawaka, who asks Coach, will you be changing your practice schedule with the regular season ending with just 5 games in 25 days?
Gary Rivers never missed a radio show, right, Jack?
No.
I mean, you know, the one thing about the gaps now is we can get more reps at things, you know, and we can get back into a better practice rhythm. Thus, I think we can get better for March.
If you would like to ask Coach Brey a question, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Brey in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Next in our rundown, the man who will run the Inside Notre Dame Fast Break this week needs no further introduction. Player of the Year candidate, Jaron Grant. Get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in, for sure.
Who was your role model?
My dad.
Favorite NBA team?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Favorite NBA player?
Russell Westbrook.
Which is better, knocking down a long three, throwing down a spectacular dunk, or dishing out a great assist?
Definitely great assist.
You have to pick one family member for a game of 2-on-2. Who do you pick?
Jeremy, for sure.
Favorite spot on the Notre Dame campus?
Dining hall.
One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice?
Compete.
Assistant coach who is most like Coach Brey?
Moose.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
EK Easy Money.
Best defender on the team?
Demetrius.
Best leaper on the team?
Pat.
Best dunker on the team?
Jaron.
Worst dunker on the team?
Bonzi.
Best dresser on the team?
Jaron.
Worst dresser on the team?
EK Easy Money.
Free throw contest, who wins, you or Coach Brey?
Jaron Grant.
Confident young man, and he should be.
Confident young man, and what a great story coming back to us and leading us into some new territory. Can't wait to see how he maneuvers March. He's ready.
Just one game is on tap between now and our next show. We'll take a look at Notre Dame's matchup with Wake Forest right after this timeout.
Couple of quizzes. Dinner? I don't know. Oh, love that. Send me the recipe. You too, Mom.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're just sitting down for dinner.
Perfect. Mind if I join you?
You did it.
Whenever you're close to Meyer,
Look what he made.
you're a little closer to home.
A financial institution is behind many of the milestones in your life. Pick one that sees you as more than just an account number. Own your dreams. Join a credit union today.
Next up for the Irish, a Wake Forest team in 12th place in the ACC, but the team in Deacon seem to be turning things around with wins in 3 of their last 4 games.
They're playing well lately, and all we need to remember is they beat us twice, and they thumped us in the ACC tournament to end our season. They can score the ball. Danny Manning's done a great job with them. They play fast. Can we defend them is going to be a key on Tuesday night.
And you're back into a normal rhythm of a couple of games a week, beginning with the Wake Forest game. You got to go up to Boston. Boston College is always ready to play the Irish. They gave you a tough game here.
A tough game here. It's a great rivalry. And with our 3 Boston guys, I know we're going to have a great fan base in Chestnut Hill.
Coach, thank you very much, and that will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Basketball. We hope you'll join us again next week when we, of course, will have all the highlights of the Wake Forest game, and we'll show you Coach Brey going really fast on a NASCAR track. Until then, for Coach Brey, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey has been presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Gatorade, Under Armour, Coke Zero, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.